Good morning. Welcome to the Sunday Sprintacular with myself, Gillian St. Kevern, author of Empowering Queer Fantasy That Confounds Expectations. I am currently alone. Jamie was planning to attend a market today, but long COVID brain took a terrible revenge and they forgot to pay for the market. So that's a no-go. And they've decided to take the morning for some self-care instead, which I think is an excellent idea. They've been working just so hard recently, and they have just so much going on in their real life. I've also been oh, no, here he is. I was about to say I have been abandoned by my co-host, George. George is my editor. He is very critical of any pieces of writing that I leave laying around, and I can often, find notebooks or outlines chewed, which he clearly is a very hands-on editor. Welcome, Caspian. It is awesome to see you here, and oh, awesome. So Caspian's writing a queer paranormal romance, taking some pretty common tropes and messing them up. I have a writing friend, Sarah Trevor, whose thing is basically subverting tropes, and she does it so well and to such great enjoyment. So, yes, you will have a ton of fun with that, Caspian. My current work in progress, I forget how much I've said about it on the stream, but it is supernatural suspense. There's not really a romance element in it, but my main character is gay, and it's just part of him, so it's part of the story. I'm calling this one Queer Eye for the supernatural guy, and the title for this particular book at the moment, I'm calling it Cheers Wears, but that may change because it's weirdly hard to say. So yeah, that is us this morning. Let's see. On a Sunday, we kind of just talk about where we're at, if there's any sort of challenges in our writing life, just kind of touching base, seeing where we are. I've been doing a course last week, an intensive course on learning what it means to be a high learner in the Clifton Strengths world. And part of that involved learning about ways that learning can give you what Becca Symes, whose courses is calls energy pennies. I think that's a lovely way to put it. Ways that learning can increase your energy, give you inspiration, and make you more creative and your work more informed, but also ways that it can become a procrastination tool and work against you. For example, you might feel like, I can't write this book because I'm not a master on this subject matter. So from that, I've realized I think my learning tendencies are not currently holding me back, but having a kind of a wider look at having a step back and looking at my writing life from a different perspective gave me a bit of insight on some stuff that maybe I do want to work on. Basically, all it comes down to is that I need to finish books instead of just starting them. And but something interesting did happen. I have been finding for a while that I will get 3/4 of the way through a book, a first draft, realize that something's not working and have to toss the entire draft and go back to pretty much the beginning and start again. This is very demoralizing, and it has put me behind schedule more than once. Yeah, it does put me behind schedule, much like you. And what was I going to say? So I've been trying to tweak my plotting process so that I go into it with a better idea of where I'm going. So hopefully the 3/4 reset doesn't happen. Instead, what I found out is that I started plotting. I didn't have all my plot figured out. It was nano. I was feeling anxious about not writing, so I jumped in and I started writing even though I didn't have all of Act 1 figured out. And I thought maybe if I start writing, I will figure out what I don't know and what I need to figure out. And that is pretty much what has happened so far. I now have all of Act 1 plotted. I'm working on writing it right now. I have done 3 hours of writing already this morning, and I feel like I can keep going quite easily. Can you move, please? Thank you. No, come on. Good boy. You stay there. No, we don't need cuddles right now. We do not. So what was I going to say? But yeah, so basically I'm going to continue to plot right, and see how far I get. But yeah, so while George looks for treats, which he's not going to find, yeah, team plantsing. I knew I was a plantser, but this is a different style of plantsing from what I've done in the past. So yeah, we will see how it goes. But yeah, trying something new and giving myself permission to try something new, make a few mistakes, and hopefully, even if I don't learn more about how I like to work, I might learn how I don't work. So either way, good stuff to know. George, no. Come on, pup. There's a good boy. Okay. So George is home alone with me, which I think is why he's being so keen to have attention, because everyone else went and they left us behind, didn't they? Yeah. But we start these streams with a 5-minute warm-up, and I'm going to use as a prompt for our warm-up. You're going to eat this, aren't you? No, it's not a toy. To start for our warm-up, we're going to take a card from the Wild Unknown Tarot deck and just use the image and associations of the card as a prompt for 5 minutes of creative or just sort of brain dumping. So the idea is that for these 5 minutes, we write whatever comes to mind or is top of mind. We do not censor ourselves. We park our inner editor and just write. And whether we're warming up our creative muscles or just clearing our head, we're getting ourselves in a creative space and kind of clearing the decks for a really productive writing session ahead. So, oh, hey. Our card for today is Father of Wands. So we have a pretty scary looking snake. I don't know much about snakes. There are no snakes in New Zealand, but this one, it looks kind of like he has a hood, so he could be a cobra of some kind. His tongue is out. He is holding a wand while lightning flashes in the background. So that's a really dramatic image. And let's see what the book has to say about it. The court cards, which is like the mother, father, etc., may represent people. Yeah, so this is what it says. Father of Wands, charismatic, creative. The Father of Wands is a man of mystique and charisma. Others are drawn to him naturally, and he welcomes them with an open and loving heart. Usually, you'll find him involved in the healing arts as he's deeply compassionate and in tune with life and nature. He is able to hold steady and still during conflict. So that's interesting. Usually when we do these sprints, I have something sort of come to mind very quickly, but for whatever reason, I'm not having that today. So, charismatic and creative. Let's think about what those qualities mean to you, or maybe if there's a character in your work or someone in your life who embodies those characteristics, or maybe a way to experience those characteristics in your life more. So, I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes. And here we go. So, one last time, Father of Wands, starting now. Okay, that is 5 minutes up. I got a neat little column written there. What this turned into a bit of a rant for me about the pressure that there is on authors, not just to write good books, which is, not not easy in itself, but in addition to that, I think there's kind of a lot of pressure or expectation for us to be entertainers outside of our books, like to be able to talk to groups of people and make our books sound interesting, or market ourselves and our books, and kind of be a lot of things that personally I don't want to be. I wrote down here, I reserve the right to be boring. I do boring extremely well. Boring is not interesting or entertaining, but boring gets books done. So I had a little rant about that, and then was like, okay, but that's not really realistic, because I do have to sell these books once I've written them. So I wound up brainstorming things I can do to kind of get myself out there a bit. And I've decided next time I find myself going off on one of my weird, enthusiastic side tangents, I will try and channel that into a blog post or YouTube video, so that I can, because I am really awful at speaking or talking about stuff in an interesting way, unless it is one of my favorite things. Like, I could talk about plot structure or character development all day. So yeah. And Caspian says, oh man, that's absolutely a thing that really shouldn't be a thing. I know. I am so mad that it is a thing, but it is what it is, sadly. Though I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea for a bunch of authors to find someone who is stupidly charismatic and good at talking about stuff, and get them to like pretend to be the author of their book. So like, okay, you are our selling person, you embody our persona, we'll do the actual work. And then I came up with the idea for this story where a guy hires a charismatic friend to do all the social parts of his author career, and things go wrong. And then I had to tell myself that I couldn't write that because I've got a bunch of other books to write first. All that within like a little 5 minutes. So not bad for the warm-up. Caspian says, yay, I love a good nerdy moment. That's what I'm banking on. But yeah, George has given up in disgust. He's lying down. But yeah, with that out of the way, and kind of all this righteous indignation that I have to do things, George has just jumped off the bed and curled up in his armchair. I think my indignation is, am I disturbing your rest, puppy? I think we should start our first sprint and let George have some chill out time. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. Okay, so I am setting our timer for 20 minutes. As we don't have Jamie, it is my responsibility to keep us on track, which I'm not very good at, but will do my best. So 20 minutes starting now. Okay, that was the end of our first sprint. Oh, holy crap, 619 words. That is very nice. How did you get on, Caspian? George has moved from the armchair to the carpet, so he is having a nice stretched out snoozle on his side. It's looking very comfortable, or like a furry mat. You could be a comfortable furry mat. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive. But yeah, I'm obviously very happy with those 619 words. Brilliant. Caspian's got 329. This takes me to the end of chapter 7, so I'm just going to set up chapter 8 very briefly. And I get to reuse some bits and pieces from an earlier draft. So there's going to be a lot of deleting as I kind of move things around. So that's going to affect my next word count, but I can live with that. So in this next sprint, I just want to continue the progress I'm making. I don't think I will finish a chapter this time, but I will make progress on chapter 8. So yeah, 20 minutes starting now. Okay, we've had Maggie say hi. I am SHU from Caro Brown's Nano Power Hour Sprints. I'm guessing SHU is sneaking over here. Something. That is cool. It is awesome to see you in any capacity, Maggie. So in that last sprint, let's see, that's 30 plus do 30 plus 539, so 569 words, that sprint. That's really good. I wrote all the way up to one bit that I've salvaged, and then I started again at the end. So, yeah, very happy with that. So this is, we've done 2 sprints, we've got 2 to go. This is where we usually pause to go replenish our drinks, take a bio break, and grab snacks. Yeah, Caspian, I have no idea how many words I've done. That's too much math with us early. Go for it. Go for it. By which I mean totally understandable. You do not have to math if you do not want to. Wow. Maggie won Nano this morning and is halfway through her 5K Saturday. You should feel happy. I feel happy. That is a brilliant achievement. And yes, as Caspian says, it is hot life juice time. I already have my hot life juice here and a pot of tea that I haven't even got into yet. But I am going to search for some snacks. While I'm gone, if you have any news you want to share, any questions you want to ask, or like Maggie, if you have an achievement you want to celebrate, pop it in the chat and we will appreciate you when we get back. But for now, a few minutes while we grab snacks. Okay, I regret turning the video off. I just walked George around the house, so you would have seen us go past. But then again, looking at how messy my room is, yeah, this was the best choice. I apparently stood up to go look for snacks in such an authoritative way. George was like, okay, we're under attack. What's happening? What's going on? And so he tore off, barking through the house, ready to tell people off. And there was no one to tell off. So it's very disappointing and confusing. But yeah, oh wow, Caspian hit 25K yesterday. That is fantastic. I agree, Maggie. It makes me very happy to see everyone making the milestones. I have got 12,428 words in this document, which is pretty exciting for me. I've got more than that on Nano because I figured out that I needed to count my plotting time and the work I do there towards Nano. Otherwise, it was just stressing me out. So I've given myself 500 words for every half hour that I spend plotting. And I think that's fair. Hi, Nikki. It is definitely making me feel more relaxed. And I think that it is, the plotting process is part of the writing process. And it is the way Nano works, it kind of teaches you to think that any time that is not directly creating words is wasted time. But doing it this way, it does kind of challenge that for me. And yes, Caspian says panic doesn't make for good writing. That is exactly true. That is true. That is very true. Okay. Now we have our hot life juice, we have our snacks, and we have a dog. So let's dive straight into our third 20-minute sprint. And yeah, let's continue making all those amazing words. 20 minutes starting now. Okay, that is the end of our third sprint. During that sprint, hello George, my stepdad returned home, and so we had to investigate who was here, whether or not they were hostile or if they had snacks. We discovered neither of these things were true. And we also discovered that during our previous two sprints, George had found something wooden which he has chewed up and shredded into tiny little pieces. This turns out to have been some popsicle sticks that I put in the fire rubbish, with the rubbish to go in the fire. Oops. Stepdad made a noise, so George is off again. And yeah, it's all go around here. So after our fourth sprint, I will have some tidying up to do. It is all good. At least this was not something important. And these were going to go in the fire anyway. So we've got just enough time to do our last 20-minute sprint and then have a few minutes to catch up over afterwards. So let's get right back to work. 20 minutes starting now. Okay. Hey, that was our fourth and final sprint. Now, where did I start? $552 words. I am so pleased with my progress today. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have recorded what I wrote last sprint. Oh, here we go. That's where I started. 522. Brilliant. So, all in all, whoa, holy crap, that is 458 words. Sorry, 4,558 words this morning, which is pretty all right. So Penumbra has 378 words and the grocery list. Caspian has 2,209 out of the 2,230. Wow, so close. Needed to keep on track. And, oh my gosh, come on, I want to see your full name. Show on stream. Stargazing Cat Girl was just revising one of my most recent short stories. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, Melon is showing me Stargazing CA, so I just wasn't sure who we had with us. But, oh, that is brilliant. And, yeah, we're all about the cat chat suddenly. Penumbra's got 2,879 words altogether. Brilliant. Unfortunately, this is where we end the stream for today. Stargazing Cat, it was so great to have you with us. If you are not already aware, Devon Cutting and a bunch of other AuthorTube authors and writing people have put together a collection of links to everyone sort of hosting live streams and stuff on YouTube. So here we go. Let me copy this link. No, I don't want to open it. I want to copy it. Come on, copy link. Oh, I'm having a wee bit of lag with my computer. Oh, come on. Copy. Here we go. Oh, Maggie, you are the best. Thank you, Maggie. But yeah, science fiction works, fantasy works, but there are some amazing books. I want to say they're by Diana Wynne Jones, but I may be wrong there. But whoever wrote the Young Wizards series, they did a sort of spin-off series that was all about cat wizards, and it was fantastic. It is such a good series, and I really recommend checking it out. I enjoyed it more than I did the Young Wizards, honestly. Like, humans, so overrated. Cats are where it's at. So yeah, it's Stargazing Cat Girl. Enjoy your fictional and non-fictional cats. That's just brilliant. But yeah, Maggie has shared the link. So you'll be able to find all sorts of all other writing live streams and everything to keep you company for the rest of the day. Myself and Jamie will be back next weekend at 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday New Zealand time. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to share. We have done the AuthorTube link, which I think is the main one. But yes, Maggie's Nano is called How I Became a Crazy Cat Lady to Survive the Zombie Apocalypse, which is an excellent title. And then what? So my current story does not have a cat, but I have a really awfully behaved chihuahua and a raven who is dead set on getting adopted by my main character and becoming his familiar. And we have this one here, who's currently chewing my sleeve. I think he is done with me writing, and yes. Okay, we are done here. I think this dog is expiring. He was very good to give us 2 hours of writing time. So yeah, see you next weekend. Until then, enjoy your writing, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you. Oh my gosh, George, we'll see you again soon. Bye.